Live from the New England seacoast and sunny Mexico, it's time for Channel Reviews. Please welcome your fabulous hosts, Mr. D. Nimmin and Daniel Batal.
Woo, man. I swear that band gets better and better every time we do the show.
They need a raise. They need a raise.
The trumpet player is someone I found in St. Martin and brought back much cheaper rates. We're not paying him nearly as much as we were the last guy.
Hey, man, welcome back to Channel Reviews. We are going to go through lots of channels today, and we've gamified this. If you didn't catch us the last time we did this on the channel, this is completely gamified now, so everyone has a fair chance. And Daniel is going to explain the rules and break down what you need to do to get a chance to actually get your channel pulled up and get it reviewed. I can't wait to do this. This is a lot of fun.
Ton of fun. So listen, everybody, the way we're going to do this is we're going to use Streamyard's feature that allows us to pick a comment from the live chat. So what D will do is he will give you a word that you will need to type into the chat, and then the Streamyard feature will allow us to pick someone who has typed that word into the chat. If your name gets picked, we're going to pull up your channel, and then we're going to spin the YouTube wheel of best practices, which will tell us what to look at on your channel and see if you're actually following the best practices on YouTube. And if you are, the way it works, either you get 3 right and you move on, or you get 3 strikes and you're out. Whichever comes first, that's what's going to happen with you. If you get 3 right before you get 3 wrong, or you miss 3 of the best practices, you will move on to the final countdown at the end, where we're going to spin the wheel from all the winners, and whoever wins the final grand prize giveaway, we're actually going to give away some Streamyard merch. Last week, we gave away one of these t-shirts just like I'm wearing right now from Streamyard to the winner. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Pay attention, because you can learn along the way. Even though this is a game show and it's a lot of fun, we actually try to teach people the kinds of things that they want to pay attention to while you're trying to grow your channel on YouTube. So we're going to get things ready here. We're going to get things moving along. D will give you the word when he's ready, and let's get into this thing.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. So those of you who don't know, Streamyard has an amazing tool called the giveaway tool. And that's what you're looking at right here. And that's what we're going to use to actually choose the winner. The way this works is we give you a word. I type the word into the Streamyard giveaway tool, and it's going to randomly pick a winner and show them up on the screen. And then we're going to take it from there. So the first word, since this is on the Streamyard channel, sponsored by Streamyard, the very first thing that you need to type in the chat right now, if you want a chance to win to get your channel pulled up, is the word Streamyard. So go ahead and type in the word Streamyard into the chat. I'm going to type this in right now.
Streamyard. One word.
Streamyard. One word. I'm going to give you just a second to start pulling that in. And I'm going to start collecting comments. Make sure that we're getting a bunch of people typing in the word Streamyard right here. Here we go. You ready, Daniel?
Yeah,
do we have a drum roll?
We sure do.
Here we go. I almost can't take it.
There we go. 203528 Vamsid. Wow. You know what, people? When it comes time to name your channel, remember that it's an old guy like me that has to pronounce it. Make it easy for people like me, would you?
Yeah, so you know, just something to think about when it comes to channel names. You can name your channel whatever you want. It's your channel, but this is a perfect example of this is a difficult channel to actually remember the name. Let's just say theoretically, I met up with Doug Houston YT, who's in the chat right now. Hey Doug, how you doing? Let's say we're in a cafe and my phone battery died, as it often does. And I said, man, I found this awesome YouTube channel. You got to check it out. And he says, what's it called? And I would say, oh, it's 235. I don't remember the name. Sorry. And then I can't share that information.
I can't even find that channel on YouTube. When I put that into the search results, it says nothing found for even using channel filtered. So I don't know if this is actually your channel.
He just stepped up and he said, yeah.
Okay, Mahima's. Okay, let me see if I can find that one. Mahimaazas. Mahimazaz. Is that, let's see, I think that's two separate words. I'm going to take a shot at that. Let's see if it is. I'm seeing, let's pull this one up. Share this screen and let me know if this is the channel. Is this your channel, my friend? If it is, we'll move forward. If it isn't, we're going to give you the big and move on to the next contestant. So if this is your channel, then that's then we'll take it from here. Let's do this. Let's pull open the wheel. Let's pull open the wheel of destiny. Let's open up the curtains here.
That's it. And real quick, Nick Nimmin's in the house. How's it going, Nick? And Nick says you should be commenting with the channel you want looked at. Valid point. You know, moving forward, if this isn't the channel that you're actually typing with, we're just going to skip you and move on to the next contestant.
Right, because we want to make sure it's your channel. You're not pulling up someone else's channel or something else up there, because this is for people who are actually spending a lot of time signed in, trying to get their channels to move forward. So let's make sure that that's our rules. See, the rules are changing. This is why we have Nick Nimmin, our executive producer.
We've got like a bat phone. We got a red phone. Just call Nick. Sort this out.
Okay, so let's do this. What we're going to do is spin the wheel, and it's going to tell us what to look at on your channel and whether or not you actually have that best practice covered. So let's spin that wheel.
Spin it. Cards.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see if my mouse wants to be friendly with me, if you actually have cards on this channel. So I'm going to go into your videos tab. I'm going to go to your most recent video. And if you have cards, I would see a white dot in this upper right corner here. See where I am? There would be a white dot showing me that you are using the cards feature to recommend more content to your viewers as they're watching this content. You do not have cards. I'm afraid that's going to be a strike. Oh man, I know that hurts. One strike. But you got two more chances here to keep going. So why don't we do this? We will pull up the wheel again and we will spin one more time. You got to actually spin. Come on now. This is hard. This is why we're not professionals. We've got a link in the description. Does this channel have a link in the description when we're looking at the video? So I'm going to scroll down, and when we say link in the description, we really want to see a link in the description. Wow.
Whoa.
All these hashtags right here is so much spam. This will not help your content. This is beyond just a single strike, my friend. This is what YouTube would start considering spam when you just start putting nothing but spammed content into your description. This is a major, major problem that could potentially end up getting your channel a community guideline strike because you're just stuffing all sorts of hashtags in there that could be anything and everything. You really want to follow best practices with a description that explains what that video is about, and maybe lets the viewer understand things like more content that they might be able to see on your channel or information that might be pertaining to this particular video. So I'm sorry, my friend, that's a huge strike. That's a tough one. That is a tough one right there.
Yeah, when you're writing your description, think of it in terms of not using hashtags and not trying to stuff it full of tags and other keywords. Think about writing out a description in a conversational manner, a paragraph or two to let the viewer know what the video is about. And of course, you can put links out to other playlists of yours, videos, links out to subscribe to your channel, so on and so forth. What you're doing right here is the absolute worst thing you could possibly be doing for your description.
Right, 100%.
Moving on to the next one.
Moving on to the next one. Let's spin that wheel again. Ooh, we've got host's choice. Dee, I'm going to let you make the choice right after you apply our proper overlay to this entire screen with our colored lights and pick what you think should be the next thing we should look at from what we have remaining on the wheel. Any one of those, you can pick it.
I can't actually read it from where I'm at. So let's just go with custom thumbnails. Are they taking advantage of custom thumbnails?
Custom thumbnails are so important because it's your best chance to help win the click when someone is looking at your content. So do we have nice, easily understandable custom thumbnails that are easy to read? I'll go back to the channel. Let me go to videos. Man, look at these thumbnails. What do you think, Dee? Let me pull out the old, let me pull this under the microscope. What do you think?
Well, I love the fact that they're uploading custom thumbnails. And I love
we do on the wheel ask for clear thumbnails. Is the
right.
actual
So let me step into this. Let me baby step into this. I love that you are taking the time to make thumbnails. That's a huge positive. So you're putting in the work. I love that you're trying to take advantage of contrasting, bright, vibrant colors. So you're doing the right things there. Where you're steering off the course here is you're making your thumbnails too busy. You're putting too much text in your thumbnails, and you're not really speaking to anybody with the thumbnails. You're just shoving a bunch of logos, a bunch of images, a tons of text into your thumbnail, and you're not really creating a clear picture for the viewer. Simplify your thumbnails. Thumbnails are one of those situations where less is usually more. You don't have to stuff everything in there. You don't have to try to get your entire title and tons of ideas in there. You want to just a couple of simple things in there to pique their curiosity, pique the viewer's curiosity, or just make them understand what the video is about so they can click in and start watching the video. So too busy.
Too busy. I'd have to agree. I have to say that would be the third strike. These aren't clear custom thumbnails. Oh, man. Well, that's what happens here on the game show. We appreciate you playing along. So, Dee, we're going to move right back over, and we're going to look at, put another word into the chat, and we'll pick another player to get up in here, another contestant to pull up their channel. Why don't we pick another word?
Yeah, let's pick another word. All right. If you're just joining us, if you're just coming in, we are going to give you a word to type into the chat. You're going to type that word in, and we're going to type the word into Streamyard's free giveaway tool. And if you have Streamyard, you can use this tool by going to streamyard.com/giveaway. The next two words to type into the chat right now with no spaces is the yard.
The yard. No spaces.
Yard. That's right, no spaces. The yard. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to go a little bit early on this one and see if it's going to start collecting comments while you're actually typing these in. Daniel and I were having a conversation before we went live. We're a little bit curious about how quickly. See, it won't do it. It's only looking at 5 right now.
Oh no, it's improving. There it is. There we go. So we can drop that in. We're learning as we go, folks.
It is. Okay, so let me explain how this works again. When I type this in, I can go ahead and hit enter, and it's going to show the large word, and you'll see here it says entries. Now there's 27 entries. So it's not going to actually collect them until I hit draw. So we learned something today. Here we go. Ready?
See? We are ready.
Please. Drum roll, please.
Go. Who's it gonna be?
I don't know.
Again. Wait a minute. Wasn't American English with this guy our winner from last week?
It was.
Well, I think in all fairness, we probably have to say that this week we're going to let someone else take your spot, if that's all right, because I think it's only fair. You walked away last week with the grand prize. Let's give someone else an opportunity to get their channel in here and get a shot at the grand prize today.
Let's draw again. It's rolling right now. No way.
Wow, you come on now. What's happening here?
What are the odds of that?
Who do you know in the production team? Is it have you got this fixed? Do you know someone who works at Streamyard? Oh, all right, we're gonna go again. Do you want to put a different word in?
No, that's so good. Hold on here. That's so good. All right, here we go.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Do it.
We're going to draw it again. Here we go. So good. Sometimes this isn't perfect.
I know. There we go. It's Chris Antonelli. Chris, I hope that's actually the name of your channel. So we can make this easier than it has been for us before. Chris Antonelli, I have found your channel. I have it pulled up whenever you're ready, Dee.
Let's go.
All right, now this is the channel. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the wheel and we're going to let the wheel decide what it is we're going to look at today.
The wheel giveth, the wheel taketh away.
It does. Sometimes the wheel has no mercy. That is the link in the description. Let's take a look at your content and see if you actually do have links in your description. I'm going to go to your most recent piece of content that you've published. I don't see anything above the fold. When we say above the fold, we're talking about right here where you can actually see above the show more. Nothing yet, but we do ask, link in the description, and there's more description. I'm seeing Instagram, Twitter, drone footage, Amazon, coffee. Do you see? I'm trying to see anything in here. Let's get the old magnifying glass out. I'm seeing mostly
Amazon
links for things to buy. I am not seeing a link to another video in your description. Nope. I think
all
right here we're
links?
missing it. All those links.
There's nothing in there?
Nothing in there. So I'm going to say that's going to be strike one. Sorry, my friend. That's a tough. That's a tough hit right there. Let's spin the wheel again and see which best practice we're going to take a look at.
Let's go.
Optimized titles. That's another important one. Making sure that your titles are well optimized so that they can actually perform well for discovery. I'm going to go right back to his channel because we want to look at more than one. Give Chris a fair chance here. Let's look at these titles. D, looking at these titles, would you say, let me get the old magnifying glass, that these are fairly, read through some of these, tell me what you think.
Let's see, DJI Air 2S upgrade DJI Mini 2 to get, you know what, just on that one, it looks like you're just stuffing some things in there. How to grow on YouTube 2021, YouTube interviews. Yeah, so it looks like you're making a couple of different videos for some of these and you're trying to stuff everything into a title instead of just focusing on one strong title. I see this mistake all the time. You try to get as much information as possible into the title when in a lot of cases you're actually not doing yourself any favors by doing that. Go back to that one. That one might have worked.
Were you looking at the YouTubers light and best lights for video? I like that title. But if you look at the truncation, think about truncation, folks, the ... You're losing part of your title in there, but that looks pretty solid. The problem I'm having is I don't know that all of these titles are well optimized for towards the value proposition of the channel. Just reading these titles, I'm seeing there's some drone footage, there's how to grow on YouTube, there's giveaway winners, there's YouTube mentors, there's more drone flights. So I don't know, is this a drone channel? Is this a YouTube growth channel? Is this I'm not exactly sure what this is. Is farming sexy? Farming and flowers I'm seeing down here. So for me, optimized titles, which actually are going to work towards your value proposition to help grow your channel, I'm not really seeing it. It's kind of all over the place with these titles and topics. So
I agree with you. And you know, when it comes to something like this, where he's making content for YouTubers, I would also try to incorporate things like teaching YouTubers how to use the drone so they can get better shots for their videos. Come up with title ideas that are going to speak to YouTubers to teach them to make better drone shots or make better B-roll for YouTube with drones. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I definitely think about the viewer, think about the needs of the viewer and what might connect with them to compel them to click. I like that you have things like DJI Mini in some of these for people who would be interested in learning more about how to maybe use the DJI Mini, or maybe you were actually selling some of your shots where they could download it, but none of that. Some of this kind of gets close, and then it's giveaways and it's human connections. I wouldn't know what this channel is about just looking at the titles unless I spent a lot of time scrolling around. So unfortunately, that one's going to be a miss. But let's spin the wheel again. You still have another shot here.
Let her rip.
Pinned comment. We love the pinned comment. Pinned comment is another great place where you can recommend more of your content to a viewer who's watching a piece of content at that point in time. So let me do this. Let me scroll down. And if you had a pinned comment, any comment you put on your own video, you can then click the 3 dots afterwards over here on the right and pin it. I'm not seeing any pinned comment. You're not using that spot to recommend more of your content. My friend, unfortunately, that is the 3rd strike. Boy, that hurts. I don't like to see anyone get 3 strikes. But the thing I want you guys to take away from this, if you're not using these opportunities to recommend more of your content to the viewer, to try to grow your channel, to really focus on what's important and get people into a view funnel, get them watching your content, keep them watching more of your content, that's what can really help grow your channel. So I hope they don't take any offense to your strikes. We appreciate you playing along. But for today, I hope that you go back, take some of these tips, and then work on your channel a bit to get it optimized a little better for best practices. Dee, let me clear up this wheel here, and we can once you go ahead and set up to pick another word for the chat to put in there, so we can pick another contestant.
Let's do that. And for that one, since he did not have a pinned comment, we're just going to use the word pinned. We're going to use the word pinned. Now, here's the thing about the pinned comment, like Daniel was just talking about. You want to take advantage of not just only the pinned comment, but you want to take advantage of cards and end screens and links in your description. YouTube gives us tools that allow us to link out to our other videos and other playlists. Take advantage of all of the tools that YouTube gives us, because you want people going in and watching more of your content. If they just come in and they watch one video, that's great. That's fantastic. But it's even better if you can get them to watch 1 or even 2 or even 3 pieces of content in addition to the one that they just watched. That's where YouTube really starts to take notice of what's happening with your channel. All right, so the word is pinned. We've got 36 entries so far. Let's see. Shall we draw? Drum roll, please. If it's that English guy, I'm calling it today. There he is.
He was so close. He's always in the running. The Big Balloon Festival. Let me see if I can find that channel over here. That's a great name, the Big Balloon Festival. I'm wondering what this channel might be about now. The Big Balloon Festival. Any guesses just based on the name?
I hope it's about hot air balloons.
That would be perfect. That would be perfect.
I really hope it's about hot air balloons.
Let me see if I can actually find it here.
And I've never actually been in a hot air balloon. Have you been in a hot air balloon?
I haven't.
You haven't.
Good morning.
Well, Dee, you're going to be pleasantly surprised, my friend, because
look at that.
It is, in fact, about the hot air balloons. That well done, well done. Now, there's the name of a channel that we can instantly understand what this channel is about. But we're not allowed to make any decisions today about what we're going to look at. The wheel is going to tell us what we're going to look at. Let's spin that wheel.
The oracle. We're going to spin the oracle.
That's so true. All right, we have optimized titles. So we want to make sure that your titles are optimized that really help support the idea of what this channel is about. So let me go to the videos tab and let's take a look at all of these titles and let's see if this really expresses the message of what your channel's about. We've got Cloud Hoppers, hot air balloons for 1, Blimp, 120,000 cubic square feet of hot air airship, 40th anniversary flight, Northwest balloon, and a little truncation there. Hot air balloon mass ascent 2021. Where will this hot air balloon land? Preparation for a hot air balloon takeoff. Boy, I got to tell you, Dee, I'm feeling like when I read these titles, I know exactly what this channel has to offer, and that similar content would be expressed in the title. I could expect to see more hot air balloons. I think they're pretty well optimized. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I agree. Okay, so I know what these videos are about before I click on them. It's easy to understand. Thumbs up.
Yeah, and he's got the word hot air balloon in there often. He's even using some capitalization. He's talking about ascent. Where will it land? I love it. It's all the kind of things that someone who is interested in hot air balloons might be looking for or might make them stop in their tracks to go, ooh, I want to see where they're showing up. You know, they got a hot air balloon in the air. They're going to see where it lands. I want to check that out. That could be fun.
I love that. And this is a perfect example when you hear people talk about niching down with your YouTube channel. He has made his channel a destination for people who are into hot air balloons. So if I want to learn about hot air balloons, guess whose channel I'm going to go hang out on? That one. Right. He's made his channel a destination. He's niched down into hot air balloons.
Perfect. I love that. I love that. Let's spin the wheel and see what else we've got here.
cards.
Looks like cards. Now, as we said earlier, has this channel used the available spots to recommend more of his content? I'm going to go right for the newest one because that's usually where people, I figure an older one, sometimes you could have maybe gotten something wrong or something could have, it took you time to come around. But I'm going to go through this. Let me see. Right up in the upper right, I see that white dot. There is a card. And I love the fact he's using a single card. He's not trying to push people in a million directions. One card. He has a card. That's a win for me. I think that's two wins he's gotten right. I love this. I love this. Two best practices taken care of. Let's spin that wheel again and see what else we're taking a look at.
Spin it. A clear value
proposition. Now, this one's a little trickier. Dee, can you explain to the people what a clear value proposition would mean?
Well, first and foremost, a value proposition is what most people are going to put up inside of their channel art to tell the viewer what's in it for them. A lot of people get this wrong and they put their name or their logo really big up into the channel art and they say, look at me, it's all about me, it's all about me. Instead, reverse that and make your value proposition a simple, as few words as possible statement that tells the viewer what your channel has for the viewer, what's in it for the viewer. As few words as possible.
And that value proposition carries through into your thumbnails and into your titles and into your playlist titles. It should be clear to anybody who lands on this channel what this channel is about, who the target audience is, and why they would want to watch this channel. Dee, what do you think, taking a peek at this, about the value prop of this channel?
Fired up about hot air balloons. Well, I know it's about hot air balloons. So you've got me there, and the imagery is on point, right? The overall packaging, you got the imagery there, you pulled it into your thumbnail, so that works. Personally, I would try to define that a little bit more and try to describe just a little bit more detail about what are you fired up about hot air balloons? What exactly are you talking about when it comes to hot air balloons? Are you talking about companies who make hot air balloons? Are you talking about how to make a homemade hot air balloon? Are you talking about the best places in the world to get rides with hot air balloons? If you could define and add some clarity to that value proposition to tell the viewer exactly what's happening on your channel about hot air balloons.
But I do get the sort of pun he's going for, because you do use fire to get fired up. And
I get it.
I think looking at this and looking at the names, I think that's there. I think that's our first win. The Big Balloon Festival is going to be our first win of the day. That's fantastic. So we're going to move you on to the final round at the end. Make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to spin the final wheel, and that's where you'll have a chance at winning some actual prizes and merch from the Streamyard catalog.
Congratulations.
Let me make sure I got him entered in properly, because I forget names really quickly. Dee, if you want to start pulling up something else for the chat, that would be fantastic.
All right. The next word for you to type into the chat right now for your chance to get your channel pulled up for a free channel review today, courtesy of StreamYard, is the word streamer. The word is streamer. That's the word right there. So go ahead and start typing that into the chat right now. And just in a couple of seconds here, I'm going to hit the draw button. As soon as some entries start coming in. Is this working? There we go. I'll let this pile up just a little bit. We're going to hit go, and Daniel's going to run the drum roll in just a moment here.
Oh, I started too early. Sorry. I got a little excited. Drums always make me excited.
I bet that's never happened before.
Hey, it happens to everybody. Don't make fun of me. I heard somewhere.
All right, here we Who hurt you, Daniel? All right, ready for the drum roll?
I'm now ready.
All right, well, 43 entries. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Hey, Paul Peck.
There we go. Cooper Music Page.
I love it. And again, this is one of those titles where as soon as you see the name, you know it's about music. Now, what I don't know if this is a page where they're making their own music, they're writing cover songs, are they teaching you how to play music, right? Music can go a lot of different ways. So let's pull them up and see what they're doing here on their channel. You ready?
Yeah, that's here. Pull it up whenever you want.
All right. What are we doing?
So right off the bat, I'm liking the look of the channel, but we don't get to say anything. We have to let the wheel decide what it is we're going to look at. So let's spin the wheel.
Let's go.
Cards. Is this channel, Cooper Music Page, using cards in the videos to recommend more of the content. Let me go to the latest video. That's where I like to go because I think, you know, if you were using them, you'd probably be using them in their most recent video. And right up top, you can see there is a white dot. And in fact, there is a card. He's using a subscribe link. I don't mind that it's a card and we don't have any judgment. If you're using cards, you're using cards. We only can do what the wheel asks us to look for. But I would recommend the most important thing you can do in any piece of content is to recommend another piece of content. So if you are going to use a card, I understand this is a short too. You know, I will give him that. Let me take a look at another video.
That was a creative shot, by the way. That was a very creative shot.
This is much better when you start actually pushing towards more content. And I would recommend only using one card. We've got some information coming out that is going to be really exciting soon, showing you the importance of pushing people in one direction. We did a test the other day, and it blew our minds on the kind of results we were getting. But you did get cards, so that's a #1 win. Perfect. Well done, my friend. Let's go back to the wheel, and let's let the wheel decide what we're going to look at next. Host's choice. Well, what should we, I'm wondering what we should look at here, D. Of the choices, you called it last time. I'm going to go for, let me go for end screens. I'd like to know if our friend Cooper Music Page is using end screens to recommend more of his content at the very end of the video. So you can share the screen over. I'm going to go with the video we're on, and I'm going to slide right to the very end of it. And I want to see, yes, he does, in fact, use end screens. That is a win. I would recommend this. Once again, people, giving people too many choices, you've got 4 end screens, can actually be problematic for a smaller channel. If you try to push people in one direction with 206 subscribers, congratulations on that. If you really want to get people sending all the same traffic signal back to YouTube, think about using one card. Think about using one end screen and making them all the same. Link in the description and pin comment, because if you can send all the same traffic signal back to YouTube, you can really improve the chances of your content getting recommended more on the YouTube platform, because that's how it really works. Is YouTube is looking for traffic data to understand what they should be recommending to potential target audience members out there who don't know who you are.
Hey, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Time to spin the wheel.
Time to spin the wheel. All right, let's do that. Optimized titles
again. Boy, this thing seems to be weighted on like cards and optimized.
You know what? I think that this wheel was actually set up with English. Learn English. I'm sorry. I gotta keep making bad jokes. All right. So optimized title. Let's see.
There's a conspiracy going on. All right.
There's something happening. All right. So let's look. It's his channel is Cooper Music Page Guitar Lessons. So we should get gear reviews and covers and originals. So we're going to look down and take a peek at some of these titles and see if they're really well optimized for that value proposition. What my guitar sees when I play Blue Oyster Cult, Proposing to My Wife Again.
Slipping from the value proposition there. You know, when we're talking about value proposition a little bit earlier, I also like to think of the value proposition as your North Star, a direction to head into. And if you're having a niche channel like this, always pause before you upload a piece of content and ask yourself, is the video that I'm uploading right now in alignment with the value proposition? Now, I understand the importance and how exciting it is proposing to your wife, and I hope she said yes, and congratulations if she did, but it's really not in alignment with the value proposition. So I wouldn't get too crazy with that moving forward.
Yeah, when I scroll down and I get a better overall look at things, what my guitar sees, well, he's got a lot of shorts that he's leveraging this what my guitar sees as a shorts. What do the dots on a guitar mean? That's a fantastic title for someone who's teaching people about how to play guitar and gear and learning to play guitar. How to live stream, the easiest software. Man, you were right on the line here, my friend. I'm really worried that you are pushing titles here that are not well optimized for your channel. They may be well optimized for the target that you're trying to reach, but you're fragmenting your audience. I love how to extend your minor pentatonic scale, so dialed into the value proposition. Minor pentatonic position 4, the most unexpected song request. St. Patty's Day is a little weird. All the faces, Creed, Baton. What do you think, D? I'm on the fence right here with this one.
I'm going to give it to him.
All right.
With
All right.
I'm gonna give it to him, but I would just say be very careful moving forward with the content choices that you're making, because you're steering away from your value proposition.
Absolutely.
Right? For taking the live stream video as an example, that title could have been wrapped around how to live stream your music.
Right.
Instead of just how to live stream, because you're going to attract a totally different audience when you're just saying how to live stream versus how to live stream your guitar, or how to best software for live streaming music, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's what when we talk about having a value proposition, it helps you make all the decisions from what your channel art should look like, what your title should look like, what your thumbnail should look like, what your playlist title should look like. Try to stick to that really clear value proposition and make sure everything you're creating is optimized for the target audience you're trying to reach. So that whenever they see it, if they watched one video last week and YouTube is recommending your next video to them, it's something they can easily understand and go, yep, that's something I want to watch as well. It's not fragmented and so different that they don't click and they don't watch. We're trying to grow channels here. But let's get back to the wheel and let's let the wheel decide what we're going to look at.
That was his third win, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Maybe.
Because we checked cards, we checked end screens, and that was optimized titles.
Well, man. Well, you know what? We got to.
Congratulations.
This is, listen, there's a lot of buttons to push here and it gets tricky sometimes.
All right. So if you're just joining us, I saw we had a little spike in viewers. Welcome. We are doing free YouTube channel reviews today. We have gamified this. We're using the Streamyard giveaway tool to choose the winner. The way this works is you type in a word, the word that's showing up on the screen right now, type that into the chat right now. The Streamyard giveaway tool is going to randomize this and show the winner up on the screen. We're going to pull your channel up. By the way, if you are a Streamyard customer, go to streamyard.com/giveaway. This tool is free to use for everybody who is a Streamyard customer. This is a really easy to use tool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Streamyard makes everything so simple. If you're not using Streamyard and you're interested in trying to live stream for the first time, make sure you click the links down in the description of this video where you can sign up for your free account right now and start using Streamyard immediately to create the kind of streams you're looking at right here.
I love you. Ready to hit that drum roll?
Let's do it.
Timpani, ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Let her rip.
Thor Haven Farm.
Farm.
Man, that's great. I hope this is actually Thor's channel because I actually love the Avengers. It should be Thor's Hammer Farm. Then I would absolutely
Thor's Hammer Farm.
Right.
I'm gonna guess. that okay, names alone.
Yeah.
And let's see how wrong I am. I'm gonna guess it's a homesteading channel based somewhere in one of the Nordic countries.
I think that's solid.
That's
I think Thor Haven is probably his name, and this is probably his farm. Let's pull up the channel here, and let's see if you were correct, Dee. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling that you might be right here. I'm getting a kind of a homesteading farm feel, so I think you're right. But I'm not going to look any farther. I'm going to let the wheel decide.
Let the wheel
what
decide.
It is.
We do it for the wheel.
Boom. End screens. Let's see if Thor Haven Farm is using end screens effectively to help recommend more content to the viewer. I'm going to go to the latest video, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to scroll right to the end. And let's see, and there it is. There is an end screen right there, my friend. And I love that he's using a single end screen. Keeps it simple and allows people to push in one direction to see another. And check this out. Not only did he use it effectively, did you see the up next was also pushing? YouTube picked up on that traffic signal. Yep. And not only did he have that video in the end screen, but it was actually pushing towards more of his content. That's fantastic. That's what we like to see.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Let's get back to the wheel.
Moving on. The suspension.
It looks like optimized titles. That's a tricky one. This one has been a stumbling block for some of our contestants today, Dee.
Let's check it out.
Let's pull up. Let's go right to his channel again. I'm going to pull up into the videos channel so I can see a lot of his titles. Now, he is in, I think, another country, but it looks like these titles are in English, but let's see how we're doing. It's Quebec Homestead tricked out. Canada. Yep. Honeybees in slow motion. Okay, so that's more of that homesteading. Sourdough bread for beginners. That's a bit of a cooking thing, but still homesteading.
Yep.
DIY pig feeder for free, getting our pigs for the homestead, making bacon at home. Yes, our garden is overgrown. Dee, I'm kind of feeling like he's on point with these titles. I'm getting all the homesteading feel.
He's on point. I'm not a fan of the Shed Wars, but I understand he could be building that into a series. So if that's working on his channel, that's okay. But overall, I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's a win. So is that 2 wins? Is that number 2?
Yeah, because he had end screen. So end screen.
Boy, man, one more, and he gets to move into the final round. Let's spin that wheel. It makes the noise before it spins, apparently.
Yep.
And clear value proposition. Does this channel have a clear value proposition? Now, we're going to be looking at things in more than just your channel art. We're going to quickly scan through the channel and make sure that we understand, does the value proposition scream what this channel is about? Let's pull this up, Dee. And I think that we kind of already have a bit of our answer here because we were looking, I think that the only thing that I would say is, I think the channel art could probably be improved a little bit. It's not terrible, but I think you could do a little more with some of this. I think it's all right with the channel art. But when I get down into the to what's going on with the playlist titles, Passive Solar Greenhouse, Our Highland Cows, Shed Wars, a little tricky, like Dee said, gardening. I kind of get and the name of the channel is Thorhaven Farm. The only thing I would do is think about getting that value proposition potentially in a short sentence up into your channel art, Thor. So when someone comes by, they immediately, just looking at the channel art, get that, you know, the idea that this is a homesteading style channel. But other than that, Dee?
No, yeah, I think it works. The imagery makes it work, even though he doesn't actually have a value proposition. And in terms of a value proposition, I don't know, I haven't looked at all of your content, but let's just say theoretically, you are making videos for people who want to get into homesteaders or get into homesteading. So a value proposition might be homesteading for beginners. Something really simple to let the viewer know exactly what your channel is about. But your imagery is on point, and I love that big woolly beast up there. That's that just
he is not talking about you, Thor. He's talking about the animal to the right of you. So to our right, you're man. Now he's going to think I was insulting his wife. Let's just leave this one on. That is a win. I think that's his 3rd one, right?
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing: we got to debate this. Did he just win that? Because he doesn't really have a value proposition. He's got imagery, which is. I'm on the fence, man. Like the imagery works, but it doesn't.
I'm going to say this. It didn't take me long to figure out that this was a homesteading. You guessed it was a homesteading channel. We came here. We kind of quickly started figuring out it was a homesteading channel without having to dig. So I'm going to say it may not be the clearest value proposition. I'd probably tweak it a bit to make it a little clearer. But I'm going to call, if you're going to put it to me, I'm going to call that a win. I think we knew what this channel was about, and it was fairly clear what the type of people who would be interested in coming back and watching this content again.
Yeah, and also you have the title or the channel name to look at as well. By putting farm in the title, that lets me know right away. You've got the imagery, you have the word farm. I get a good sense of what's happening on your channel.
We're going. I'm going to call that number 3, and that is a win. Congratulations, my friend. Thor, you're going to be moving on to the final round here. Let me pull this down. Dee, if you want to set up another word.
Yeah, what are the winners going to win today?
Well, this is the great thing is they have a bit of a choice because they're able to pick from the some of the Streamyard merch we have. We have T-shirts like you see here. We have different colored T-shirts. We have coffee mugs.
And I just want to tell you how large this coffee mug is. These things,
monstrous.
I eat cereal and soup out of this thing.
You could put that entire woolly beast from the channel art of Thor's channel art right inside of this mug, and there would still be room for you guys to hang out and have something to drink with them.
I'll go a step further. You could milk that beast and put all of its milk in this cup and have plenty of room to put some hot cocoa powder. That's
are we allowed to say milk that beast on the live stream without getting in trouble? I don't know.
And demonetized. All right.
Instantly.
The next word for you to type into the chat right now, if you want a chance to have your channel pulled up for a free channel review. I mean, the wheel decides what we're going to look at, but the word is playlist. A playlist is something that's very important on your YouTube channel. If you don't have a playlist on your YouTube channel, if you're not optimizing your playlist, if you're not taking advantage of grouping your content together so that a viewer can easily binge watch your content, you are definitely leaving views on the table. So go ahead and type the word playlist into the chat right now. I'll give you just another second or two. Then I'm going to hit the draw button. Daniel, you ready?
I am ready when you are, my friend.
I'm gonna let just a couple more come in. Go ahead and get those drums rolling. Go ahead.
Let's do it. This is my favorite part.
It is. I'm here for the drums.
What's it gonna be? My cluttered
garage. Okay. Oh. This name right out of the gate tells me, okay, if your garage is not a mess, I'm going to be disappointed. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be severely disappointed if this isn't some garage organizational channel.
Do you think maybe you think this channel could possibly be like hoarders? They just hoarders. We're going to try to talk about hoarding. My dad has the most cluttered garage in the world. He is a hoarder. He's got stuff that since before I was born in his garage.
It's probably a treasure trove of stuff, though. Like if you go in there and you dig through,
boy, I think that you were a little off. It looks like tractors, wood, metal, dirt. I'm not gonna make any decisions right now because we have a lovely wheel that tells us what we're supposed to be looking at. So let's spin the wheel and let it decide what to take a peek at. Yep. Host choice. Mr. D. Nimmin, I think it's your turn to pick the host choice today. Of these options, we have optimized titles, clear value proposition, optimized playlists, cards, link in the description, end screens. Any of those sound good to you?
Well, since the word was playlist, let's have a look at their playlist. Let's see if they're taking advantage of playlists. Are they optimizing their playlist? Are they building them out and putting them on their homepage?
Yep. And when we talk about playlists, we just don't mean sticking content together. We mean optimized playlists that are using titles, descriptions, putting the content together in a way that people look at the playlist and know exactly what the channel's about because it's optimized for the value proposition of the channel. So let's scroll down here. D, pull up this channel. Let's take a look. As I scroll down, I'm seeing uploads, popular uploads, my least favorite playlists, because uploads is the default playlist when you first open up a YouTube channel. I think you should customize your homepage because it's your storefront. It's where people get to know more about you.
He's got one. Look at that. He's got one.
As we get down, we start to see more of the stuff that we want to see. We're seeing Kubota B2601 compact tractor videos. We've got Woodland Mills WC6 wood chipper videos. These videos feature my Woodland Mills WC68 wood chipper. So he does when we got MCG projects and how to. These have distinct playlist titles that reference the tractor thing he was talking about in his crowded garage, and he's got description under it. I'm going to say that that's a win, D.
That's a big win. That's a big win, Daniel. I'm not a big fan of just having the uploads up there. I think you can make your own latest videos. So you could put something like latest videos or latest tractor videos or latest, however you want to build that. But you can create your own playlist and then organize it to put the latest videos in order. So you don't have to just have a boring upload playlist up there at the top. But yeah, I think those playlists look great.
Yeah, I see a lot of intentionality and really trying to send the message of the value proposition home. So that was a great win. Was that number two?
Win number one.
Win number one. All right, cool. I will keep track of this. As you can see, counting is hard for me. Let's spin the wheel.
You only have 3 to count.
Optimized playlist. Does this channel
we just did that.
Oh, wait a minute.
That was a host choice.
Oh man, you know what? I need to spin again. Hold on a sec.
Spin it again. The host choice. The wheel failed us.
Well, I'd like to say I failed. Cards. Let's see if this channel is utilizing cards to push people towards more of the content when that viewer is actually watching the content in front of them. I'm going to go with the latest video right here, and I'm going to go up in the upper right, and I in fact do see that there are cards here. So that is number 2 win. Did I count right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm getting good at this. Oh man, see, we all learned something. Daniel knows how to keep track of count. That's about the only thing I've learned today, personally. Let me try spinning this wheel again. End screens. As we've said, folks, there are a handful of ways that you can always recommend more of your content. That is by using things like your cards, your end screens, link in the description above the fold so people don't have to click show more to see it. And then down in the pinned comment, you can pin a link to another piece of content and push people in one direction to watch more of the videos that are on your channel. So let's see if he is in fact using end screens. I'm going to go with the video we're on right now. I'm going to scroll to the end. And let's see if we see those end screens.
I bet he's got them.
There we go. I'm seeing end screens right there. So that's a win right there. And I think that's win number 3. So he gets to move on. Congratulations to my cluttered garage. I also have a cluttered garage. It's a little bit different than that, but I don't have cool tractors and things like that. It's mostly like tools and old half-empty bottles of like motor oil.
Leave his video pulled up right there. I think this is a great opportunity. Think of yourself from a viewer. If a viewer gets to your end screen here, think really hard about the intentionality of where you want to lead them to, because like my eyes are going to 4 different places right here. I see your subscribe icon. I see you might be selling some merch there and with a coffee mug, and I see a playlist and I see a video. I've tested this out on my channel. Daniel, I don't know how it's worked over on your channel, but I've found that on my channel, if I focus more and try to focus them into just one thing or usually no more than 2, I seem to get a better result than trying to send them off into 4 different directions. Have you seen the same thing, Daniel?
Yeah, I actually did a test the other day. I used the same video on my latest upload that published yesterday in the card, end screen, pin comment, and link in the description. And guess what happened? I reached out to everyone who was willing to respond to me, and I said, "Hey guys, tell me what YouTube is serving as the up next video and on the sidebar suggestions." And it was in every case, everyone who responded was getting served the exact same video that I was serving in all 4 places, because people were clicking on it. They were all sending the singular traffic signal back to YouTube. YouTube picked up on that. And then I didn't just use cards and end screens. I got YouTube to start recommending the content that I wanted them to recommend. So think about strategy. Think about intentionality. Sometimes people can get choice paralysis. Too many choices, they click nothing. Try to get all the same traffic signals going back, but you are using end screens. I would just thin them out a little bit.
Yes. You ready to pull up the next word?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so the word that you're going to type into the stream next is called cards, because we're talking about cards. The wheel seems to be card heavy. So the word to type into the chat right now is cards. This is the StreamYard free giveaway tool. If you are a StreamYard customer, you type in streamyard.com/giveaway. You have access to this tool as well. It's going to randomize everyone who's typing the word cards into the chat right now. Which whoever wins, we're going to pull your channel up and let the wheel decide what we look at. And we are going to have a grand wheel spin today. Who's going to decide who's going to get StreamYard merch.
Yeah, we've got quite a few winners in it already, and we still have time to go here. So let's see how quickly we can move through this. You let me know when you want the drums to start rolling, Mr. D. Nimmin.
Roll those drums.
Success is the goal. That's my goal, too.
I have very high expectations of this channel. Success is the goal. But again, here's channel names, right? Go ahead in the chat. Let me know. Type into the chat right now what you think this channel is about. The channel is called Success is the Goal. I think it's a motivation channel, possibly a financial channel, trying to teach people how to be successful. Am I
successful in something. I know the goal is to be successful. Let's see what it is, though.
Let's see what it is.
I'm not. It does say, for school, for work, for life, power words. Success is the goal. I'd probably clean this up a little bit. Power words doesn't specifically explain what this is, but I'm not going to say anything more because I'm not allowed to really take a look at this channel. The wheel decides what it is we're going to look at. Let's make sure I've got this reset. Hold on, restore it, and
the wheel's the great equalizer.
Boy, the wheel puts us all in the same playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And link in the description. So let's see if success is the goal is actually putting a link in the description of his videos. I'm going to go to the most recent video. I'm going to open this one up, make sure it's not a short. Even if it was a short, you can still put a link in the description. So I'm going to click here. Let me scroll down. I will say right off the bat, if you are going to put a link in the description, you want to make sure it's above the show more, because if I am watching this video on desktop and this description shows, I want to be able to be watching and see more recommendation right there. But the wheel says, is there a link in the description? I'm scrolling down. I'm seeing Power word videos. Oh, there are more videos right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are links in the description to more of his content. I would probably tell you maybe keep it to 1 if you give too many people too many options. Again, sometimes choice paralysis. Push them in one direction. I would pick one and I would put it up above the show more, but it is there. Does have links.
He's got
That's
it.
the #1 win.
He's got it.
got
You know, anytime I'm putting my channel together, a video, a playlist, I'm trying to optimize things, in screens, cards, I always try to think of things from a viewer's perspective. What makes sense for the viewer, for the person who was watching that video at that particular time? I know the topic that they just clicked in on, and I know what might be the logical next choice for them to watch. So I always make sure I link out to those things. I don't want to clutter my description with too many things. I do put a bunch of links in there, but I organize them in a way that's easy for the viewer to find exactly what it is that they're looking for. Because what you said, Daniel, was spot on. You can give the viewer too many choices, and then they don't choose at all. It's really easy to click away.
All of these things we're talking about is viewer behavior. And when you got to remember that a channel never grows faster than when it's being recommended to people who have no idea who you are. So if someone has no idea who you are they going to sit there and read deep into your description to find a link to another video, click it, and watch it? Maybe, maybe not. Better to put it right up top in their face so that while they're sitting there, before they even open up the description, it's right up top above the fold and going, oh, there's another one. Maybe I want to check that link out and see what it is. But that was a win. That was win #1. Let's get back to the wheel and let's let the wheel decide what we're going to look at next.
Spin it. I love that sound effect.
Clear value proposition. Does this channel have a clear value proposition? And we talked about this earlier. A clear value proposition should carry from the channel art all the way down through the thumbnails, the titles, the playlists. We should be able to understand at a glance what this channel is about. Dee, what do you have to say about the value proposition for this channel?
It has everything that I need to tell me what the channel is about, assuming that all the videos are about teaching people how to speak for success. When I read that channel art, when I read the value proposition, power words for success, hopefully this is teaching people how to speak for success.
And I'm looking at playlists that are advanced vocabulary words to learn. Motivation is action. A little bit, reduce your stress, goal setting. There's it's a little disconnect in here when I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out immediately, like, what is this? Are you teaching me words? Are you teaching me, are you a motivational channel? Are you a stress reduction channel? Goal setting, like goals for what? What kind of goals am I setting? If you try to serve everybody, what ends up happening is you start serving nobody because YouTube is trying to understand who to serve your content to every time you publish. So if you're a channel that's smaller, when you get bigger, you can start to expand the kind of content you're making, push the walls out a little bit. But at 309 subscribers currently on this channel, I would find one lane to get into and say, this is what I'm going to lead on. This is what we do. If it says success is the goal, if it's about power words for school, work, and life, then I would stick with teaching people language, teaching people words, teaching people how to speak better, and always stick to the thing that your channel art hints at so we understand exactly what this channel is about, not get into other subsections of motivation and everything else that might be things you're interested in and you might think is part of a broader conversation, but it's not coherent at the moment. So I would dial this in tighter, and I think that's going to be a first strike for me, Dee. What do you think?
Well, his value proposition is clear, but he's not following through with the content. So this was value proposition.
Well, I got to tell you, value proposition is that kind of thing where you tell people it should be easy for people to understand what your channel's about, who the target audience is, and why they should watch. And when I start scrolling down, I think you're close, but I'm going to say that I'm going to call this one a strike at the moment. Sorry.
Now, scroll back up for a second. Sure. One easy fix to this is instead of painting yourself into the vocabulary corner, you could just say something like how to succeed at school, work, and in life. Right. And then that would encompass all of the content that you're making on your channel. But by talking about power words, you're painting yourself into a vocabulary corner, and the viewer is going to expect your content to be about vocabulary and how to speak for success.
Right, because this could easily have said, instead of power words up in that channel art, that could have said tips for, instead of for your success is the goal, tips for success in school, work, and life. right? So then you could break that down and have a playlist that said something like, instead of just advanced vocabulary words, which makes it sound like you're an English teaching course, if you're really about success and it's about learning how to succeed in different areas, then you should probably get those into playlists that explain to people that being able to speak better and having a better mastery of your vocabulary can actually help you find success at work, in school, and in life. And here are some words that you may want to learn. So it just needs to tie together better so people understand that at a glance.
Love it. Moving on.
All right, back to the wheel. Wheel's going to do it all. That's one up, one down, correct?
Yes.
All right. Oh, just into host choice. Man, whose choice is it? Mine or yours, D?
I'm taking this one. I think it was your choice last time. Let's have a look at custom thumbnails. I'm always going to go to clustered thumbnails. I'm always going to go to clustered thumbnails because that is the entryway. That is the doorway. If you cannot win the click, if you cannot get the viewer to click, you're not going to get the view. If you don't get the view, you're not going to get the watch time, so on and so forth. So this is a great thing to look at.
Okay. Take a peek here. I
can't stress enough the importance of having a great thumbnail that wins the click.
Right, and if you don't have the proper thumbnails, D actually does start stressing. Literally, sweats. He starts getting all bent out of shape.
Cortisol levels through the roof. It's not pretty.
Here we've got him focusing on power words, and he's got them circled. I can see that each one of these is teaching people specific words for, it looks like 3 words with every one of these videos. That's kind of cool. I like what's going on here, D. The only singular comment I would make, and this is important, look how similar all of these are. I always try to keep in mind, don't be so repetitive in your thumbnails that if I get served this video and then the next day I get served this video, I'm thinking power words, it's got 3 words with green behind it and a guy holding up a card. I feel like I've already seen this video. So the one thing I would be cautious of is make sure that your content is unique. If I start scrolling through it, everything looks so similar that I feel like these are all the same videos at a glance. I would just be concerned with that. But I kind of like the thumbnails in general. Power words, the words are listed. He's got some circled. What do you think? And these are all shorter ones too. These are thumbnails for shorts on most of these ones here. So he is putting these in. That's a short, that's a short, that's a short. D, you're the thumbnail master. What are you thinking about some of these thumbnails?
I am a thumbnail master. Thank you very much. I appreciate the acknowledgement. I agree with you in terms of I would love to see some variety here. So I didn't think that I already saw that, but he's making thumbnails. He's making custom thumbnails. They do make sense. If one of those were served to me, I'm going to give it to him.
These are clear? Sure.
And he's clear. And I just want to say, in terms of mixing this up a little bit, you could do some things like, and I don't know what your ability is in terms of how you can use Photoshop or how you can use a graphic software, but you could hire someone on Fiverr to change the color of your jacket, or you could rotate yourself. So one thumbnail you're on the left, another thumbnail you're on the right. You could take a handful of other pictures, just go and get several different outfits and set up your phone, and you can take them yourself with the timer. You can have a friend take them and just go take 20 different pictures of yourself. So you have all these different pictures to choose from instead of having the same picture over and over and over and over again, which could eventually confuse the viewer and make them think, I already saw that one. I'm not going to click on that again.
Right, and if you ever need tips on that, stop by Dee's brother's channel, Nick Nimmin, who is the master of putting himself in the different thumbnails, but always having kind of fresh and interesting and different poses so that they each have a different look. He does a bunch of photos and uses them in a variety of ways so that he always has himself typically in one of his thumbnails, but it's always like a kind of a different look at Nick. He does a really good job of mixing it up. But that was a win.
Nick is going live when we finish this show.
Yeah, absolutely. So
when we finish,
at 9,
he's going live.
In 23 minutes, Nick will be going live. So when we're done here, jump over to Nick's channel because he goes on to spend a lot of time today really helping creators understand how to grow their channels more effectively.
And it's a Q&A stream, so you can ask questions and he'll answer.
Absolutely.
Spin that wheel.
He
won.
Wheel.
So that was 2.
That's two wins and 1 strike. So let's see. This could be the final win right here.
This could be it. Final countdown.
And it looks like end screens. All right, let me see. Let me pull this channel up. is our friend. Success is the goal. Using end screens, I want to make sure that I'm going to something that is not a short. This is the most recent video. Let me scroll through to the end. And let's see, are there end screens here? And there are, in fact, 2 end screens here. I like it. Learn more, watch more, subscribe. Pretty decent. I like, 2. I don't have any problem with 2 at the end. You know what I always say, I prefer 1, a singular direction. The one thing I would say is you're pushing someone towards an entire playlist. That's not a bad idea. I think that be intentional. I would probably say if you're going to use a playlist, then put 1 playlist up at the end, because that's a whole stream of videos that if they click it, it'll take them through. After each one ends, it'll play the next one. I like that. I like that idea as an intentional strategy, but giving them a lot of options, I think, can ultimately send too many different traffic signals back to YouTube. So you've got them there. We're going to give you the win. I think that's the 3rd win, right? So that's our friend the 3rd win. That is going to move on to the final spin at the end of the game. Congratulations.
I just want to say, whenever I've used 2 end screens on my own videos, what I like to do, what's worked really well for me when I use 2, is I'm very intentional about one of them, and then I let YouTube choose the next one, which is best for viewer. I know some people have had mixed results with that, but for me, that seems to work. I like to, here's one that I think the viewer should watch next, and I like to give it to YouTube to say what the viewer wants to watch next. Now, overall, I tend to do better now that I'm just using 1 video, where I try to lead them into a single video that I've used in the pinned comment, in the card, so on and so forth, and I just lead the viewer to the next video. But when I did have 2, that was my strategy.
That's a great strategy too, because it works. It's not like you have to, it's not like, you have to overthink things sometimes. Sometimes simple strategies of just trying to understand what the viewer might compel them to be interested to watch more of your content, putting things together, getting them down that view funnel, get them to watch one, then another, and then another. That can pay huge dividends. So don't overthink it. Don't feel like you have to put 9 million things up just because you can. Keep it simple. Come up with a basic strategy to get people watching and keep them watching, and you can win.
It's time to
let's get a word. Let's get a word into the chat. Ooh,
the word is a big one. The word is YouTube.
YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, put YouTube into the live chat, and we'll let the Streamyard comment picker decide whose channel we're gonna look at next. So the word is YouTube. Drop that in there. And here they come, 17. Boy, I love the way it counts. It's nice and easy to get an idea of what's actually happening in here.
I'm glad that you identified before we went live that we could do it this way instead of having the smaller word early on, because I was using it backwards.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. I can't count, but I can recognize how to use a comment picker. So I have my pluses and minuses, my strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, play to your strengths, right? Play to your strengths. This was it.
Right. Oh, man.
You ready? Drum roll, please.
All right.
Hit it. Hey,
I'm going to learn to play house. I got to learn to play Tiffany.
You do.
There we go. Alina and David Tomer. I hope I pronounced them. Alina? I'm going to say Alina. I hope that was right. If I got it wrong, I apologize. All right, so let me find that channel. It's called Alina and David. I want to pull that up quickly.
Okay. And while you're pulling it up, I don't know what your channel's about, which is kind of exciting. You could be a vlog channel. You might be a fitness channel. I have no idea. You might be a travel channel. I have no idea. Did you find them?
I do have them.
Let's pull them up. Let's see what it is.
It's, I have no idea.
Okay, spin that wheel.
Well, the wheel is going to decide how much we can insult you unintentionally. This awful wheel. Sometimes it makes us feel like jerks. Come on, pick something that they have. I want to see more winners today. And we have cards. Cards. We're going to see if you're using cards in your videos. This is a card-heavy wheel. It is. We've been seeing cards a lot today. That's kind of surprising. We might have to rebalance this wheel. I might have put a weight on the backside of it. Let me go to the most recent video, which I got to point out here. I'm not going to say anything. Maybe I am. Most recent video 5 months ago. We need to add another category onto
There are a travel channel, it looks like.
And I am seeing a card right here pop out, but right at the beginning. You do have cards. We're going to give you that win. I would say to you, though, think about best practices says put that card at least 80% through the video, because you don't want people immediately clicking that card and leaving this piece of content. YouTube themselves says the last 20% of that video is where you really want to suggest. You also get a better card click-through rate if you put it at the end, because people who stay to the end of your content are invested in it, and they're more likely to click a card at the end. So try to get those cards in the end, but you got it, so that's number one win. You know, what can we say? The wheel said to look at that. There are cards. Cards are there.
You know, one thing that I like to do with cards is I'll put the card in around 75 to 80% at the end, like YouTube will recommend, and I'll come back a few weeks later, sometimes a month or two later, and I'll look at my audience retention report. I look at the graph, and I see if I can identify any large drops, something that I did wrong in the video. Maybe I said the wrong thing. I showed something on the screen. Maybe I was just taking too long to get to something. And if I can identify a large drop off that's before the card, I'll actually move that card or place another card right before that drop off, with the hope that I can get them to click another one of my videos instead of actually leaving and just clicking off of my channel. That's something that's been working well for me.
Yeah, you know, intentionality is all of it, right? You know, make sure that the things that you're doing on your channel are intentional, that you're not just randomly throwing things up because you think you're supposed to do them, but you're doing them for a reason.
Yeah,
let's spin that wheel.
Yeah, let's spin the wheel. While you're spinning the wheel, I just want to say this. If you put your card too early on, somebody could click off, right? As soon as the video starts, you show the card, it gets their attention. They click off of that video. And while you do get them to go to another video, you're actually hurting the average watch time. You're hurting your
the retention goes
duration.
down.
The retention goes down on that particular video. So you need to really think that stuff through. Clear thumbnails.
Clear thumbnails. So let's pull up this channel and let's see if the thumbnails are clear and easy to understand what this channel is about. Nice and clear. I don't mean clear like they're high resolution. I mean that if someone saw this on a mobile device, would they be able to read them, understand them, and know what this channel's about? Let's grab the magnifying glass. This looks like it's about Israel in 2020.
This is another, they're putting this in here in another language. So one thing to keep in mind, to keep this highlighted right here, do you see how small the text is? You know, first of all, I love this style. I love the aesthetics of how you're putting your thumbnails together. It looks good, but on a mobile device, the text that you've got here is going to be really difficult to read on a mobile device. And this is going to be where the majority of your views are going to be coming from. They're going to be coming from phones, so on and so forth. And that text is going to become even smaller. So always remember to use easy to read fonts. Don't make them too small so mobile viewers are not able to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not only hard to read potentially on a mobile device, but look at it on a desktop without the magnifying glass. I can't read it. Same thing here. I can't, without a magnifying glass and desktop, I can't read this. So I'm liking some of these thumbnails in the sense that I'm liking the visuals of them. I like these here where they're showing different spots where they've visited. I kind of like that. And it's a newer channel. These are all the videos you have. 179 subscribers, and they've only got maybe 11 videos up.
Yeah,
you're getting there. I like the imagery of the places you're visiting. Keep that up. I think that's powerful. And if you put the name of the place that you're visiting, fantastic. So that's pretty powerful stuff. I think you're doing a fairly decent job. We going to call that one a win, D?
Yeah, let's call that a win. Just be mindful. Be mindful moving forward, where you don't put too tiny little text in there. Yeah, because you can't read it. You can't even read it on a desktop.
Right, guy. Listen, I'm just going to say right off the bat, if the wheel spins, it tells us to look at titles
or cards.
We're going to need an interpreter for this channel to help us decide whether or not the titles are effective. Because this language, we might have a language barrier, but we'll let the wheel decide what we're looking at.
So they've got 2 wins so far.
2 wins on this. There we go. Pinned comment. So is this channel? We dodged a bullet there, my friend. All right, let's pull up your most recent piece of content right here, and let's scroll down. And are you using the comments to pin a comment? Well, I gotta say, there is a pinned comment here. You did pin a comment. It looks like it's more of a description. This could be a recipe. This could be a list of your friends. This is the problem with me not being bilingual. But you do have a pinned comment. It says right here that you did pin a comment. What I would tell you is use a pinned comment to push that viewer towards another piece of content, all right?
Yes.
So this is kind of a half win. You do have a pinned comment, but in a perfect world, we'd like to see a link to another piece of content or something intentional. Sometimes it's different. Maybe sometimes you've got a video that's trying to sell a product and you've pinned like an affiliate link because you're trying to create sales. So there can be different reasons why you pin a comment, but always try to have something that has like a call to action to it, not just a description and words, because that's really what your description is for. Use the pinned comment in a way that's actionable, that people can click and they can either buy a product or they can sign up through an email opt-in, or maybe they can, more importantly, I always say push them towards another piece of content. But that technically is a pinned comment, and I gotta say that's a win right there. And that's the third win, right? That's number 3. Man,
we're moving forward. We're banking on
the
it.
winners today are just through the roof.
I love that. I love that though.
I'm not complaining. I like to see winners.
Yeah. So for those of you who are sticking around, you're like, what are the winners going to do? After we actually choose all the, well, after we don't choose it, the wheel chooses it, and the creator chooses if they win or not. But everyone who advances forward, the wheel, does the wheel decide at the very end?
The wheel decides. I am typing in names of each one of these into a separate wheel that we spin at the end, and the wheel will tell us who our grand prize winner is.
And the wheel doesn't lie.
Well, depends. Depends what the wheel's been up to. Sometimes the wheel, was out very late and starts telling us stories.
All right.
I usually trust the wheel, but it is my wheel.
All right. So the next word to type into the chat right now is the word live, as in live streaming. Type the word live into the chat right now. The StreamYard giveaway tool is going to randomize and pull up a winner. For those of you who have StreamYard, you can go to streamyard.com/giveaway, and you're going to be able to use this tool as well. This is a fun tool to use.
Sure is.
I love.
Make sure you type the word live into the chat, not the word live, because we will not accept the word live as an answer.
That's right. Live.
Do you know the band Live? Here's a little trivia while we're collecting some. The band Live, if you remember the band Live, actually had named themselves Live, but everybody started pronouncing it Live, so they just decided to tell everybody, I guess we're live because the fans have chosen. So
I didn't know that.
Interesting music trivia for you.
I love that. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll. A lot of great names here.
Yes. Who's it going to be?
There we go. It's Cherry Awesome Sunsets.
Wonder what that's going to be about.
I don't know. I mean, if I were to guess, I would say this would be a channel that does nothing but show us awesome sunsets. So maybe travel?
Sunsets from around the world? Traveling,
maybe a travel type of channel. Because if you're saying awesome sunsets, I'm thinking maybe someplace where you might go and see like great views, like a tropical vacations and watch the sunset. Maybe
sunsets from around the world. That would actually be a cool channel. Seeing different sunsets from around the world, like in different vantage points. Do you have it pulled up? You ready?
I do have it pulled up. Let's take a quick peek. All right. It says awesome sunsets. I think we may have been close. I am seeing something. It looks like some travel in there. So there is travel. All right. But that's all I'm saying, because the wheel is going to tell us what we're really looking at today. Let's spin that wheel.
The wheel decides.
Oh, mighty wheel. Cards. Really? You know what? Let's have it again.
Well, let's get. Let's check him. Let's see if he's got cards.
I don't know. I think that this is a rigged rigged wheel, at least. Let's open up the latest one and let's see. This is a live stream. So I'm not gonna hold her to that. Let me see if I can find a structured piece of content. This one's 5 minutes and 27 seconds long. That's where you'll typically put a card more in a structured piece of content. I'm looking up here in the upper right. There would be a white dot if you're using cards to recommend more content to the viewer who's watching this piece of content. And I am not seeing a card. I would say that's the first strike, D. That's a tough one. But you still have more chances to get this right, so don't worry. Don't worry. We've been having a lot of winners today, so let's just move right ahead and spin that wheel. Optimize titles. All right. Now, optimized titles, we were talking about this earlier for anyone who missed it. When we talk about optimized titles, we want to make sure that the titles on your channel really help push that value proposition, that people see your titles, they're well optimized so people can easily understand what your content's about and understand why they'd want to watch that video and potentially other videos on your channel. Dee, let's take a look here and you tell me what you think about these.
Let me zoom in here. All right.
Live exciting Disney news and chat.
Okay.
Live cruise news and chat. So I'm getting this kind of a travel thing. 4th of July, U.S. fireworks. I'm not exactly sure how that fits into the sunsets or the travel. Fantastic lunch at Latawada Creek. Okay, so I'm saying that wrong, right? But that's definitely, they visited someplace. Live from Cahokia Mounds, American Indian, a little bit cut off. Happily Ever After fireworks are back at Walt Disney. So there is kind of a travel thing. Disney news and chat. What do you think, Dee?
You know, those titles just aren't speaking to me. I mean, some of them give me an idea of what's going on. Like she's breaking the news for some of the things like, hey, Disney's doing fireworks again, or this cruise ship is doing something again. Some of them are working. Some of them are not working. Man, I'm on the fence on this one. I'm going to let you call it. I think it's going to be difficult for people to find these videos.
Yeah. And I also think that some of the things that you're playing up are relevant to you, but not necessarily relevant to everybody else. There's a ton of cruise news, breaking cruise news, breaking cruise news, breaking cruise news. And then you have the important part where it's Florida wins against CDC. Once again, Florida wins against CDC. These almost look like the exact same titles in your stream and in your video, so they're kind of redundant. And then it's I almost feel like this is more of a cruise channel, but then there's fireworks, and then there's where you're eating lunch at a specific place. I think that it's a little out of focus. What I would tell you is you're so close, but really dial in what this channel is about and make sure that someone who watches one video would really understand why they would want to watch another. I don't know if someone who's interested in what's going on with the cruise industry starting up again would all of a sudden necessarily click on Fantastic Lunch at Latawada Creek. So I think you're so close, but I'm going to have to call this one just a miss by a hair, D.
And this is number 2, right?
This would be number 2, correct. All right. It's tough. This is a tough place to live. Oh, wait a minute.
It is a tough place to live.
Yeah, there was no card. You are correct. There was no card in the other one we looked at. So that's his strike number 2. I'm figuring it out.
And what you mentioned is spot on. You know, just think of it from a viewer's perspective. If they did find your channel through, say, breaking news about the cruise ships, because look, there's a lot of talk right now about cruise ships. Is it safe to go on cruise ships? Who's sailing right now? So on and so forth. Somebody lands on that. You need to think about, you know, well, what do they want to watch next? And it's not necessarily watching you eat lunch somewhere. They're there because they want to learn about cruises. Now you're talking about all sorts of different things. You've got Disney content. Link out to other Disney content, but you need to think about your overall channel focus and what it is that you're doing on your channel.
100%.
You're close. You're so close there. You're really, really close to dialing it in. I think just a little bit of tweaking can help dial things in.
When we say optimized titles, we're really talking about optimized for the target audience you're trying to reach. Keep that in mind, okay?
Daniel, give her an example. So if she's talking about the cruise ships, let's give an example of what she could use for something that might attract more people if she's discussing about cruise ship news.
Well, she had some of it in there, but it was placed kind of in odd locations. I think it's great that you should do things like most affordable cruises best vacation cruises on a budget would be a great one, right? Because people might be going, I'd love to take a cruise, but the money's been tight because of COVID. I've been out of work. I would love to take a vacation, but I'm on a really tight budget. When you start speaking to people and not just doing cruise news, cruise breaking news, what you really want to do is think about all the things that would be in that conversation for people who are interested in taking cruises. Best cruise lines that you may not have been aware of, or the most luxurious ocean liner cruises available today. All those things. Really think about what the viewer who would be interested in cruises would be interested. Best cruise ships, best family-oriented cruise ships and vacations. So you're talking about some people might have kids and they want to bring the whole family. So think about all those things that they might be thinking about and try to bring that into the titles so that it's very clear. If someone watches one, they would understand why they would want to watch more. And if you're going to do a lot of things about cruises, and right now the current channel is at, well done, over 7,000 subscribers, 7,370. You're doing great, but I think dial it in a little bit more, and I think that you'll even be able to accelerate the growth of this channel. I'm going to quickly just take a peek.
Cruise ships operating post-pandemic.
Yep. And I think that some of that's in there. She's got the cruising has restarted in the USA. So you've got pieces of it. I would just say try to be more consistent in these things and bring them together so that you're not always starting everything with breaking cruise news, breaking cruise news. Bring some of that value up front because your titles are getting truncated and people, because you see the ... you see some of these ... dots. So it's like breaking cruise news, Florida wins against CDC. I kind of get that because you've got most of it. It looks like that Florida, state of Florida fighting against whatever the CDC regulations are, I guess. I like it, but just be careful that everything is encapsulated before the truncation. Live from Cahokia Mounds, American Indian, truncated. Just be careful. Just be careful how you're using some of those titles. So close. But where are we at now? Was that?
That was number 2. We got to spin it.
So that was number 2 strike?
That was number 2 strike. Time to spin the wheel.
The wheel's being vicious today.
It is.
We've got optimized playlists. Now, here's an area that you can really stand out because if you take your content and you put it together in a way where things like these cruise videos that you made all make sense and work together in playlists that have strong titles and strong descriptions, that can help push the viewer towards more of your content because if they stumble across a playlist, they'll go, oh, this is exactly what I see on the homepage. Nice, strong, optimized playlist. I got a whole bunch of content about all the different things going on in the world of cruising for travel. And they could be very interested. So I'm going to go to your homepage first and just scroll down and see what you've got on the homepage. And I'm seeing, let me just pause this for a second. I'm seeing uploads, popular uploads, created playlists, past live streams. I'll tell you from your homepage layout, I'm not seeing it. I'll give you one more shot from the actual playlist tabs. Awesome cruise vacations, travel talk, Cherry Awesome Sunsets travel uploads, cruise and travel news, Disney news. I'm not seeing any descriptions in any of this. So I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, I think you missed the boat on this one, Sherry.
And welcome to my channel.
I think when you want to think about putting together playlists, really think about the same way you make your videos. Put a really strong title into that playlist. You can say like, you can have like, instead of just cruise and travel news, you could really be compelling and think about the same way you would in a video title and be like everything you need to know about the cruises that are that are back and running today, and that could be a playlist title. And underneath that, say like in this playlist, I'm going to break down the most recent travel news and cruise news so that you can keep up to date on which liners are actually running, which cruise ships are actually out there and active, and which ones are still shut down and you may want to avoid. So really think about the viewer experience. Speak to the viewer, speak to the things they're thinking about, so when they see it at a glance, that they don't just get Cherry Awesome Sunset Travel uploads, not the most effective playlist. Try to dial those in, and I think, unfortunately, is that the first one? Oh, man. Well, we had so many winners, I guess they can't all be winners. But Sherry, the channel is really great. Congratulations on the 7,300, almost 7,400 subscribers. Dial this in a little bit. Yeah, man, that's a ton of subscribers.
I think with just a little bit of tweaking on her channel, she's going to be off because she's got this far.
Yep.
Like she's gotten this far already. So just dialing this in and tweaking it just a little bit, I think it's just going to speed things up even faster.
Yep. And that's when you'll start seeing some of these videos that are kind of, in the recent one, they're kind of struggling to get past a couple hundred views. You start dialing this stuff in, you really start making it easy for the viewer to understand. That's when you can start getting these videos to really start performing. And videos from the last few months will start doing, thousands of views instead of, 100, maybe 200 views. You want to start getting content that connects so that YouTube can start recommending more of your content.
So Daniel, we've had a bunch of winners today.
We sure have, man. It's been a pretty successful day.
And I love that. So do we want to spin the master wheel?
I think it is time to spin the master wheel.
To see who's going to. So what are they going to win today? What are the choices?
As we said, you can pick from the Streamyard merch line, which means they've got several different t-shirts. Whoever wins will get you connected with the options, but you can get the Streamyard t-shirts. We have them in white. We have them in black. You can get some of the Streamyard mugs. They've got different merch. Cup. They do. They have there's even some pillows in there that are pretty awesome. And we're going to be working with Streamyard to make sure that we can do things like giving you there's the pillow right there. Look at that thing.
I keep it here on my back.
He takes naps in betwin the wheel spins.
I do.
So you have to have a pillow. He's got a blanket
Look at this.
too.
I think we need some more StreamYard in this show. You have anything?
This is what I got. Oh, man. We're good. All right. So listen, today I got an extra shot in this wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people who have made it into the final wheel. And then apparently one purple slot because I'm a little troubled when it comes to building wheels, so we'll see if we can get this. So the way this works is we're going to spin this wheel, and we're going to let the wheel decide who our grand prize winner is today. Sound good, D?
That works perfectly for me.
All right, let's do this. Let's get this thing going.
Let's skin that smoke wagon.
There it is. Thor Haven Farm is our winner today. Congratulations. Thor just really pulling it out of nowhere. We didn't see that one coming. It just goes to show that anyone can be a winner here on the YouTube channel Reviews Game Show.
Congratulations, Thor Haven Farm. That's exciting. So are you going to reach out to them?
Yeah, what we want you to do, Thor Haven Farm, I want you to email me, okay? Email me at Danial at danielbatal.com, and I will connect with you. Just email me, and we'll get you all hooked up with give you the options of what you can choose from, so you can actually take a look. So make sure, Thor, that you come find us. If you don't, we have your channel name. We'll come find you, and we'll make sure we get you connected. Okay, my friend? And I'm going to say, hey, listen, thanks to everybody today for hanging around and playing the game with us. This is a ton of fun. I love doing this way.
You know what? This is always exciting to come in. I love looking at channels and just seeing them just doing all the things right, because when they're doing all the things right, it's just a matter of time before they put that one video out that's going to change the trajectory of your channel. And that's the exciting part, because what's going to happen. It's just that happens to everybody. You've got that one video. And by the way, speaking of success on YouTube, Daniel Batal, ladies and gentlemen, just hit 200,000 subscribers on YouTube yesterday.
Stop.
200. Can we get congratulations in the chat for Daniel Batal? 200, dude, that's huge.
All sub for sub. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, it's been a long journey, and I'm extremely blessed and proud. I'm happy that the hard work has paid off. I spent a lot of time working on the channel, and thank you, Dee. I appreciate the kind words. It's been
congratulations.
It's been a fun ride.
Yeah. So thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. For those of you who did not get your channel pulled up, we will be back. We're normally the second Saturday of every month on the StreamYard channel, but Daniel had to go on vacation and mess things up, so we moved it to the third this week. We're normally the second Saturday. We will be back. And for those of you who want to go over on Nick's channel, when he goes live, he'll be live shortly. I will be dropping a link to his channel here in the chat in just a moment. Daniel, any parting words before we roll these epic end credits?
No, I'd like to say thank you to you, Dee, for all the hard work you do on this show. Thank you for everybody in the chat for showing up. Anybody watching in the replay, make sure you come back next time so we can do this all again, and we'll catch you on the next show.